Hello, beautiful, wonderful, majestic souls. My name is Dans. This is my channel, That Good Tarot, where we do timeless readings for anyone with any placements. If you've made your way to this reading, I do believe there is a message in here for you. However, if you don't resonate with this reading, that's cool, that's chill. Go check out my channel. There are so many other readings there. I'm sure you'll find something that resonates with you. Let's get into it. Let's see what your guides want to have a yap about. What they want to connect to in your life, what they want you to just be a little bit more aware of, what they want to kind of bring to your focus. So let's get into it. 10 of Wands coming up first and foremost, followed by the 3 of Swords and 9 of Cups. Okay. Some heaviness on the heart going on here. I almost feel like for some of you, it's like this feeling of discontent that you almost like can't quite put a finger on, like why. You might just suddenly feel sad and you're like, why? What's happening? Like, why? What is this feeling that is like sitting on me or around me? So it might be just like sudden anxiety or like things kind of coming back in a very overwhelming way, like things that maybe you felt like you'd processed and it's like coming up and being a bit all that in your energy field. We have the 10 of Wands, 3 of Swords. I also feel like you're presenting very well. Like on the surface, you're like, oh, I'm good. It's a very like, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine kind of energy. But it comes with this like, it's this thin veneer of fine over a very confusing like anxiety. That's what is kind of here, and hopefully we can give you some clarification today about what that's kind of about. So let's get into it. Universe, please, insight and information. What is the main source of this feeling, if not like the main sources, the sources? so sorry. What are the sources of this? I don't mean to be making fun of this. You know what it is? I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about how in the song It's Raining Men, because it's on the Bridget Jones's Diary soundtrack, which is a CD in my car because I love that movie. It's Raining Men by Jerry Halliwell on that CD. And the line, according to all sources, sounds like she's saying like sauces, like tomato sauce. So whenever I hear sauce, I also hear sauces. So that's why I'm laughing, okay? Sorry. Okay, all right. What is the point of contention here? Thank you. We have 2 pairs of 2 coming out. So the first pair of 2 is the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. There does seem to be this idea of like fulfilling an ambition and like having time, space, and energy for your goals and pursuits. That definitely seems like one side of it. On the other side, Queen of Cups, Ace of Cups. It is so interesting that we have a Queen and an Ace coming up here. The biggest thing that I think is in common with these 2 aspects that are kind of creating this like this anxiety within you is this notion of like openness and movement. It's a giving and receiving type of energy because I'm going to face them the way I'm seeing them. So we have the Queen, and both of the hands kind of giving to each other. This very well could be a situation in which there is an energy exchange that you are wanting to fulfill that has not yet happened. For some of you, it could be some kind of peace offering, but there does seem to be this connection that has not happened. That is it's bringing a lot of discomfort. Like I also said, there is a lot of stuff with the personal ambition personal self-acceptance of emotions. But I'm really drawn to these hands trying to move together from both of the Queen energies. It's so interesting. Okay, let's have a look more at this connection. Universe, please, insight and information. I think that the reason why your passion projects and things like that and your personal ambition is coming up, I think it's almost like a symptom of the feeling, like the anxiety that might be coming up. It's like, well, you can't very well move forward with things if you're just having a day where you're suddenly like just wanting to cry for no reason. That's not... And if those days are just kind of like happening off and on and you don't really have an explanation for it, it's like that's a frustrating thing to try and like move forward with in your career, or you're trying to take care of business. It's very hard to do when your emotions are just suddenly out of whack. But let's have a look more at this. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. What have we got here? Yeah, we have the Two of Cups in the middle. Come on. Okay. There is this anxiety thing that is revolving around a particular relationship here. Could be any kind of relationship, could be family, friend, romantic interest, but the way that these are laid out with like these hands wanting to give to each other, and for the clarifying card being the Two of Cups. Yeah. There is absolutely no other way for me to read this. There is this exchange that has not happened here. Okay, so we're going to look at two things. We're going to look at the obstacles that are in the way of this. Three things. The obstacles that are in the way of this, that is causing this like disconnection. We are going to look at what can help resolve this, and then any further advice your guides have to help support you through this. So first, let's look at the obstacles. Universe, please, insight and information. What are the obstacles for this collective when it comes to this connection? Why is this an anxiety point? Why does there seem to be some kind of conflict here? Thank you. We have the Nine of Swords, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and we have the Ace of Swords. There is so much that needs to be communicated that hasn't been communicated. And one of you could be feeling like it's too heavy, it's too much. One of you could feel like, oh, the other person's just totally moved on from this. Like, it's like, this could be for both of you. This could be for like either of you. But like the feelings that come up are like, it's so painful. It's too much. There's too much. It's just like, it feels really heavy. The weight of the things unsaid and things that need to be said and clarified. It's just so much, and so much like brutal honesty, you know. Maybe one of you feels like you just can't do that. Like you can't get to that point. But also, I think one of you might feel like the other person has moved on. Like they honestly don't care. Like they never did care. They never needed me. They probably never think about me anymore. Like, so I can just try and move on too. And that might be you if you're like suddenly feeling anxious out of nowhere and just suddenly getting sad because you've made the decision to be like, no, I'm going to move on past this. But like somewhere in your subconscious or in your shadow, like you're still sad about it. So it like, you just have a day where you suddenly want to cry. I'm laughing because my medication doesn't let me feel as sad anymore. As sad as laugh or cry, and my medication doesn't really let me cry that much, which is good. I used to cry too much. Anyways, enough about me. Ace of Swords. That's the big obstacle here. The ability to like communicate forward is an obstacle. The idea that it's just like everything's too heavy. This person has moved on without me. I can't move forward in communication. That seems to be the energy coming from one of you, both of you. Okay, so those are your obstacles. Let's have a look at what is going to help resolve this. What needs to happen to resolve this? Universe, please, insight and information. What needs to happen to resolve this? We have the Page of Pentacles, Two of Wands, Page of Swords, and the Empress. Okay, so interesting. Oh, I think there's a few different ways to interpret this, but there's a very strong message coming through of like, it doesn't matter where you look, your mind will always go back here. You will always keep coming back to this. It's like maybe somewhere in your mind you're like going between decisions or going between different options or playing things out in different ways. But I think that like, yeah, for one of you, I can literally hear the words like, there is no way for you to escape this. That sounds bad. But I think for the person who is meant to receive it, it's like, I don't think you really want to. Like maybe you want to move away from the overwhelm of it, but like if this was something you really wanted to separate from and let go of, it would have happened by now. But I don't think that that's the case. Because part of you is still preparing. Like it feels like you're still thinking about everything that you would say. Even though you might feel like you can't communicate or like the things that you have to communicate are like it's so much that you'd have to say and that you'd have to like, oh my God, what you'd have to endure hearing back. Like you'd have to face a lot of inner truths. You'd have to face a lot of their truths. Like it would be like a lot, and that's a lot. But part of your mind is still subconsciously or in your shadow, like preparing for that conversation, but also like holding this daydream of a life, like this fantasy of this person and this connection being back in your world. So on the surface, you might be like, okay, I'm going to go and do this and I'm going to go and do this. And I feel like both of these options or the multitude of options that you're coming up with doesn't actually involve communicating with this person again. But your subconscious mind does not drop it. It won't drop it. It's still imagining a real world situation where you might or could like face this. And also coming up with this like fantasy daydream world in which it is resolved and they are in your life in the ways that you kind of always wanted. And that's why I say like, doesn't matter which path you take, you're not gonna worm your way out of this one. Because every road leads back to this person. That's the way that this like loop is working in your mind right now. Every road leads back to this person. Can I get some more information on the Empress, please? Thank you. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Wands. And Five of Swords. Yeah. Okay. There is that like backward and forwards motion that's like walk away and then move back forward, and there's this tug of like run away and then run towards, and run away and run towards, and in the middle of that is all of this just like daydreaming. But there's been a lot of pain in this connection. A lot of hurtful things have been said. I can see that. A lot of hurtful things have been said. Okay, let's see what your guides have to help support you through this. With whatever decision you make, let's see what your guides have to tell you to support you through this. Universe, please, insight and information. Okay. Okay, we have the Four of Swords, Two of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Strength. If you want to create a new path with this person, a fresh connection with this person, you need to take small steps into this dynamic. You need to like break that cycle of rumination and start putting into action like real effort towards it. I'm not guaranteeing anything for y'all, you know, but there is something wonderful on the other side of this. But like embody the strength that you not just need, but like that you want to have to reach out. I don't think you always want to be the kind of person that has to let people go. And maybe it's scary for you to be vulnerable enough to be that person that's like, I want you in my life. I am not okay when you're not in my life and you're not part of my world. And I could be okay. I'm sure I will be okay, but I don't want to have to be okay without you. And I want to be the kind of person that if I want someone in my life, I can tell them that and work on things in a relationship. Like I said before, like this isn't even reading entirely romantic. This literally could be a family member. It could be a parent. It could be a sibling. It could be a friend. Like, I feel like this almost transcends romantic love. That's not excluding it, but it's deeper than that. You know, it's like, yeah. But I think that there's a part of you that wants to resolve this. There's a part of you that wants to be the kind of person that can resolve this, and not just have to let things go, because I don't think you can with this. I think you can get by. I think you can do without. I don't think you're going to be able to let this go, because I think you've tried and it's still like cropping up and making you sad. And let me tell you, as someone who has let people go, who has fully cut people off and disconnected, like, if you don't want them in your life anymore, you don't miss them. You don't. You go through stages of like anger and disgust and resentment and then forgiveness, and then you forget, and then it feels like that person knew a version of you like lifetimes ago. Like, that's when you let go of someone. It's like they just really, it's like, oh my God, I forgot that person was even in my life. Like, But when you like miss someone, like you miss them and it like hurts still, and it's been like a long time, that's different. And you can get by without people, but like there are some people that you just can't like let go of. And that's why I say it's deeper than a romantic thing, because I feel like romantic things we can let go of. But there's a intimate love, not intimacy, but like there's a very close emotional intimate love that exists past the point of romance that kind of transcends any relationship dynamic, but you just know it if you know it. It's just yeah. And I think that if it's one of those things, yeah, it's gonna be hard to let go. Bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Cups. Just a little bit of a signal to be like, hey, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay to reach out at this time. Maybe you thought it wasn't okay to reach out before, but maybe it's okay right now. Who knows? You know, there's only one way to find out. Let's get into the Oracle deck. Okay. So we have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing, huge manifestations coming through. Like I feel like energetically you, they, your environment, their environment is really shifting. I think it has been for some time, but I feel like we're seeing the outward manifestation of that now. So something to keep in mind, something to keep your eye on, something to be aware of. And then the Mirror, self-reflection, writer, big picture. Did you forget all you had to go through to be you? Remember all the things that you've been through. If you feel like, oh, this thing coming up is too hard, this is a too hard thing for me to do, look back at every hard thing you've ever done and been like, is this the hardest thing you've ever had to do? Is reaching out to this person the hardest thing you've ever had to do? Is trying to establish a boundary? Is that the hardest thing you've ever had to do? Because probably not. It's probably not the hardest thing you've ever had to do. So therefore, it's something that is totally doable. Think of that anytime you feel like something's really hard or you can't do it. Is this the hardest thing you've ever had to do? Probs not. Probably been through much harder. I'm going to leave it there for this reading. I know that was pretty short and sweet and very specific to a few of you, but aren't they all? Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope I brought you some company, some comfort, maybe a little bit of clarification over some weird feelings that have been cropping up. But yeah, thank you for letting me be in your energy, and I will see you in the next reading.